All right, everybody, I needed to do this video. This is really important. There's been many things going on recently with the United States government putting churches together, Christian churches, and saying you are Christian, and if you're a Christian, you're part of this group of believers that we believe in, right? Of the creeds, the beliefs in the Bible, those who are actually following that and believing in it. I am right now in front of the LDS St. George Temple. It's Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I've got to tell you a couple things. One thing is this: the LDS Church considers themselves Christian. However, I used to be a Mormon. I was also evangelical. I was a founder of the Orthodox Church, and now I'm Roman Catholic. So I have a pretty decent, well-rounded view of things, if you will, about Christianity. I've studied a lot. I've realized that there are many churches who believe in the creeds, the original beliefs of the bishops that came at Nicaea, and they followed. It was a faith that continued, and it was more of those individuals who surrendered their lives. They literally were abused by their beliefs by many for hundreds of years. Now, this church right here, this is the LDS Temple, but this church believes that Joseph Smith received, and I got to tell you this, a visual impression of God the Father and Jesus Christ, and they said that all the churches are wrong. So that means that ultimately that Jesus lied when he said, "Upon this rock, Peter, I'll build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it." The problem is with Mormonism. If you believe in Mormonism, when Jesus appeared to him and says they're all wrong, then you have to ultimately believe that Jesus was fallible. He literally was not God, knowing that his church was going to fail. And that's a big issue right there, right? So in a sense, Mormonism believes they are the only true faith, and because they are the only true faith, everyone else, we're all heretical. And if you're a heretic, and if you believe in heresy, in many of the denominations, the churches, the Catholic churches, Orthodox, you are excommunicated. You're not a Christian. You're not a believer. But ultimately what happened is that Mormonism, Joseph Smith believes that we are all heretics. So 2.6 billion Christians in the world right now are all heretical. And if you're heretical, you're not part of Christianity. So if Mormonism wants to be a part of Christianity, it's an ism, it's not a nitty, I always say that. But if Mormonism wants to be a part of Christianity and they consider themselves Christian, they have to believe in the basis of the truth of the Christian faith, the creeds, those things that we all hold true to, believing in the Trinity, that is an important thing and it's an important belief. I mean, they believe that the church fell, that after the apostles fell. Well, we know that that's not true if you have any understanding, because why? Well, because Ignatius, one of the apostolic fathers, you look at Clement, they were actually ordained to be apostolic overseers of the church. There was no longer 12 apostles anymore. The apostles themselves actually ordained bishops and deacons. And this continues today. It goes on today throughout, the world for the past, how many, 1800 years almost. So there's a real problem here. Either Christianity, we're all failures. Everybody who believes in Christianity, 2.6 billion, are really those who don't believe in their eyes because they consider themselves the true church. So everybody else is heretics. Or Mormonism is really heretical and they're not really Christian in the belief of the tenets, the traditional biblical understanding, and the following of the actual apostolic fathers. So we have a real problem here. a real problem. And, you know, a lot of people believe in the Eucharist. If you look at Ignatius, Polycarp, if you look at Clement, I mean, this has been discussed how important the Eucharist is. It's the real presence and the real blood, the body and the blood of Jesus Christ, that it's a mystery of our faith. And Jesus said it in John 6, also in 1 Corinthians 11, 24, 25. This has been the belief of the faith for thousands of years. But in Mormonism, they get Wonder Bread and they get water that they use for the sacrament. It is not the belief of bread and wine. So I've got to tell you, everybody, they say they are the only true Christian church. So then if that's the belief, everybody else is heretical. And there's only about 16 million Christians in this world compared to 2.6 billion. What are your thoughts on it? Are they really following? If they don't follow the basic beliefs and the tenets, the creeds of the faith, of the Christian faith, and if they believe that Jesus Christ, when he said, "Upon this rock, Peter, I'll build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it," then they believe that Jesus is fallible. We don't believe that in Christianity. We truly believe in Jesus, that he is the truth, the life, and the way, the one that doesn't fail and will never fail us. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Let me know.